school bricks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
This is it, Husker fans, your final chance to see Nebraska baseball at home this season. It starts Tuesday, May 6th with a huge rivalry matchup against Creighton. Then it's a Big Ten showdown as the Huskers host Michigan May 9th through 11th. Every game matters and your support can make the difference. Great seats are still available, but they're going fast. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
When you're outdoors beneath Nebraska skies, adventure comes in all sizes. From quick escapes and long weekends to true off-the-grid retreats. Paddle, hike, camp, explore. Whether you have a few hours or a few days, we'll guide you to a state park or recreation area that's a perfect fit. Start your next adventure today at yournebraskaparks.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Early break. Get run over, something's going to happen. But as you got closer to him, you saw he was wearing a big smile. And I thought, oh, he's got this totally under control. my whole opinion changed of the situation. It did. I thought, there's this crazy guy out in the middle of the road. He's got to get this figured out. And then when I saw his smile, I was like, oh, no, he's got everything figured out. He's got it all figured out. I mean,
with Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, and Bill Bush from 6 to 9 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Spring has arrived, the temperatures are rising, and it's time to get your equipment ready for the season. Landmark Implement has high-quality used John Deere planters, sprayers, and tractors, priced to move and ready to work for you. Take advantage of unbeatable deals and flexible financing to upgrade your operation without stretching your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or browse our full inventory online at landmarkimp.com. Before these deals are done, experience the Landmark difference.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Strap up your headgear and try not to hit the mat too hard. This is Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska Wrestling National Champion Ridge Lovett.
Oh my goodness, it hits up. Short time, right down to the wire. And the drought is over. Nebraska with a national champion for the first time since 2011. What started in Post Falls, Idaho, is punctuated in Philadelphia. Ridge Lovett in his 6th year, a title winner.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by Stevens & Smith Construction and the Teammates Mentoring Program. With your look inside Husker Wrestling, here is your host, Ridge Lovett.
Ooh, that new intro sounds good. Welcome to Takedown Tuesday with Husker Wrestling on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Ridge Lovett. With me today, as always, Austin Orman and another special guest. But first, I'd like to tell you about our sponsor, Stevens & Smith Construction. Takedown Tuesday on 93.7 The Ticket is sponsored by Stevens & Smith Construction. Stevens & Smith Construction is an employee-owned company with nearly 250 employees with over 2,000 years of service combined. They lead the industry as a full-service concrete company specializing in residential and commercial foundations and flatwork. Stevens & Smith has locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, and you can learn more today at stevensandsmith.com. If you've got any comments or questions, you can be part of the show by texting our Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line at 402-464-5685 or by leaving a comment on our Facebook, X, or YouTube stream. You can also call into the show at the Honda of Lincoln hotline at 402-464-5685. Joining me on the show today is my good friend, the host of my recruiting trip back all the way in 2019, Peyton Robb. What's up, buddy?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm doing well. So Greco for you now.
Greco for me. Yeah, just been training, and we had our world team trials at the US Open. So got through, made the national team during that, and then yeah, just been training that and helping out with you freestyle guys, rolling around with you guys, getting you guys ready for the world team trials and Final X for a couple.
Heck yeah. So what all comes with being on the national team?
It's like you get first dibs for like tournaments and camps when they go overseas and that kind of stuff. And then you get some benefits for like health insurance, that kind of thing. You get paid through the national team. You get to travel out to the Olympic Training Center and train at those camps and help prepare the world team member for the World Championships later this year. And so just some perks to your training and your pockets a little bit.
Heck yeah. Good health insurance. That's always a plus.
For sure.
Man. Especially for you. Ooh.
Yeah. They say I'm a hard body, but I feel the pain too, sometimes when we're wrestling around. I don't know. That's just a little kind of running joke at the Nebraska wrestling room, is that I'm a hard body and everybody's,
man, everything you do hurts.
Yeah.
Too strong. But you've spent some time overseas. You went over a couple months ago.
Yeah, I went on a trip to Croatia. Didn't do the tournament out there, but did a 10-day Greco camp and got to train with a couple world champions at my weight class, along with a whole bunch of other guys. There was a ton of countries there because it was a UWW sponsored camp. Okay. So it was like bringing all different countries and their Greco teams out there. And so I got to go out there with a bunch of the USA guys and train for 10 days in Croatia. And then recently I went to Albania with James Green and got for last year's non-Olympic weight world championships. And so I've got my fair share of overseas trips.
And you've gone overseas with James before in the past.
Yeah, I went to Kazakhstan in 2019, the same year as a recruiting trip with him for the world championships out there. It's been cool. Wrestling's given me a lot of opportunities to travel.
Heck yeah. How many countries have you been to now?
So Sweden, Kazakhstan, Croatia, Albania, Serbia, and then probably like 3 down in South America. So probably like 8 or 9.
For Pan Am stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. How many Pan Am teams have you been on?
1 cadet, 1 junior.
Okay.
So just the 2.
Yeah. So how do you get on the Pan Am teams? How do they do that with cadet and juniors?
So cadet and juniors, it's I think they don't usually pick the guy that's going to the world championships. They usually pick like the 2nd and 3rd guy. And so if you place 2nd or 3rd at the trials, they kind of work down the list for there. And so I got to go for cadets down in Argentina one time, and then I got to go to Guatemala and for the juniors. And those were cool trips. Got to bring home some hardware from those.
Heck yeah.
And then for the senior level, I think they do choose the guy that wins the trials. So, and then they work down the list from there. So like Liam Cronin, or for freestyle, it's the winner of the US Open, I believe, gets first dibs, or whoever's sitting out at Final X. So Liam Cronin gets to go down to Mexico. He leaves this week, so he'll be out there. We'll be able to cheer him on at the Pan Am.
I didn't even know he was going.
Yeah, he got asked, I think early this week, and quick turnaround because I think he leaves Thursday, and the US Open was a weekend ago. So, but it'll be good. I'm excited to cheer him on down there.
Yeah, you had a pretty good US Open.
Yeah, I had a solid US Open. Like I said, made the national team, got 3rd, lost a tough one in the semis, but go get the next best thing is the mentality. So came back and got 3rd. Scored a lot of points on the front side those first couple matches and on the back side. So yeah, I had a good US Open, and then plus I got to cheer on the guys that we had out there in freestyle. I got to make a long weekend, kind of a vacation after I was done, since I competed first. Greco did, and then got to cheer on my boys, and excited to cheer on all you guys at where's Louisville?
Yep, Kentucky.
So I won't be out there, but I'll be watching intently.
Yeah, I think that's next weekend. This next weekend. Yep.
15
or Friday,
12
Saturday.
days or so.
Yep, Friday, Saturday. We'll be out there in Louisville, Kentucky. Me, Brock, James, Trelly, Schulte,
Lance,
and Lance. Yep. There'll be a good group of us out there.
those weights didn't have anybody sitting out. So
yeah, we kind of talked about that last week a little bit. So if you are a returning world medalist, you at the same weight that you're going to compete this year, you get to sit into the Final X finals, which is the best 2 out of 3 for the world team spot. So for the weights that didn't have someone who is a returning world medalist, that one first, the first qualifier for Final X, the winner of the U.S. Open goes. But for Greco, it's different.
For Greco, the U.S. Open was the world team trials, so that was one and done for Greco.
Was that a 1-day tournament?
2-day tournament.
Okay.
All the front side up to the finals was wrestled on day 1, and then because it was a best 2 out of 3 for the finals for Greco at the U.S. Open, so they wrestled all the way through, all the way to that point.
Nice. Okay.
You excited to wrestle?
Oh, yeah.
First competition after folk style.
Yeah, right. Folk style's done. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully I don't have to wrestle James or Trelly first.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can wrestle in the semis, maybe in the finals. That would be the best case scenario.
Kind of split you guys up into quarters.
That would be nice. But I mean, we'll see when we get there. Who knows how they're gonna do it? Because I don't know what kind of seeding points we get.
Yeah.
James, I'm assuming he'll be the 1 seed.
That's what I would think.
Returning world team member at the same weight and U.S. Open finalist. And then I don't know how they seed it from there. Like me and Trelly won NCAAs, but that's folk style.
I'm not sure how the points work.
No idea.
But yeah, that weight class is gonna have some fun scraps in it.
It's gonna be a good time for sure.
U3, you got young guy, PJ Duke, and you got Lawan, and I'm blanking on a couple others, but
there's a few more dudes in there. And 70 kilos is kind of a weird weight because it's kind of an in-between weight. So you got the 57 pounders from NCAAs. Those guys are coming down. Then the 49 pounders, they're either going to have to go down to 43 or come up to 54. And I've made that cut down to 43. I wasn't doing that again.
Fun.
No way.
That's
that was
fun.
no good. So yeah, it's kind of a tweener weight. It's in between, but
that's why I like that Greco is 72 kilograms. So it's 158.7. So it's a little above my college weight class. So it was like just perfect.
Yeah, mine's 5 pounds higher. It's a lot above. Like I've been lifting hard trying to get bigger. I got up to 65 last week, but yesterday after practice, you look good. Come on now.
Good.
Shout out CJ Red. But yesterday after practice, I weighed 57. I was like, all this work every day in the gym, and they're going ham with 5.
Yep.
Jacking weight, and then just to have it all fall right back off. Shout out Big John 5. Man, and they're getting this strong. He's the reason we call P-Rob Hardbody. He got that boy swole.
He did.
So walk us through your college career. What brought you to Lincoln? Because you were somewhere else first.
I was originally committed to SDSU coming out of high school. Was committed there for like a full year almost, maybe even more. And then both the coaches took a job at Wisconsin as the head and the assistant coach. And I was kind of wondering myself before then, even if I wanted to go to SDSU. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's a lot smaller than Lincoln, even though sometimes Lincoln gets joked on that it's a little bit smaller than other places, especially in the Big Ten. But Brookings is a lot smaller than Lincoln. So it's a whole different level. So that and some other things. And I was kind of wondering if I didn't want to change. But at that time, you had to get a release from the university, from the AD.
Yeah, now you can just leave whenever you want.
But at that time, you had to get a release. And once the coaches took the job at Wisconsin, I was like, this is my chance to ask for a release and be like, oh, well, the coaches that recruited me aren't even here anymore. So can I look to venture out somewhere else? And so I eventually got a release, but it was coming close to the deadline of almost starting school.
Did they give you any problems with the release at SDSU?
Not too long. I mean, the communication wasn't great, but it wasn't like I didn't have to hassle anybody.
Because when Berwick was leaving, they gave him the runaround. That was a couple-month process for him to get released from Wisconsin.
Yeah. That was also when you're already in college too at that point. So I think because
he'd been there for a couple of years, 3 years.
Yeah. 2 or 3.
Redshirt and then freshman, sophomore year there.
Probably,
I think
yeah.
that's how it was. Well, in COVID, because he was my class.
Yeah, I think
so.
you're
He
right
was
then.
in the year that got canceled, the free year. So he probably spent 3-4 years there, actually.
So they were hanging on to him a little bit.
Yeah, they did not want to let him go, and they shouldn't. Shout out Kyle Burrow. He's a super
He's
good
a
dude,
stud.
hard worker.
I just saw him.
Yep.
For the fights.
Yep.
for
He was
Bubba's
out here.
fights.
Yep.
But yeah, got released and then basically looked between Minnesota back home, and then Nebraska, because I had talked with Taylor Venz and his parents and about Nebraska, and they were on me. They're like, you got to get out here, you got to check it out. And so came out on a trip, had a great time, got to wrestle with JB. You know, that's I mean that's a game changer.
Go.
Yeah,
that's a big
like,
draw.
It's like, okay, I get to wrestle with James and JB and Snyder and Tyler Berger. Like, can't ask for much more. And it's kind of like the same situation that we got going on when we're talking to those middleweight recruits. Is like, you get to wrestle with us too, Brock, James, Snyder, Trelly, all these guys. It's a real draw. And so I saw that and I was like, I'm ready to be a Husker. And so came out here, redshirted 1 year, then COVID hit. So that free year, I bumped up to 65 because we kind of had a hole there, and our other 57-pounder wasn't quite big enough to compete at 65. He would have been on the small side. Shout out Licking.
Man, Caleb Licking,
Yep.
Nebraska boy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so I bumped up to 65. Did pretty well, kind of average, I'd say, but made it to nationals, won a couple matches out there, and then
man, that wasn't a good year for us. We were roommates in St. Louis. That was a rough trip.
That was
man.
a tough trip. Nobody really.
You did better than me. I went 1 and 2.
Yeah,
At least I didn't have to go O2 barbecue. I got a win. It was
yep. There you go.
Squeaked one out in overtime.
Have to. Can't barbecue.
Absolutely not. Were you a 3-time All-American? 4-time?
Three-time place winner. I guess with the and then
4-time.
4-time
yeah,
All-American.
Big 4-time. Come on.
With the selection.
Hey, that counts.
Oh yeah. Before 65, I was at 57 for a year and took third at Big Tens that year, and then got selected as All-American. Bumped up to 65 the next year. Went 2 and 2, I think, at nationals or something like that. And then the next year I kind of broke through, and that's when I lost early in nationals.
Was that when you got hurt? Was
yeah,
that Detroit?
Yep. So I was attacking in my second match of the tournament, and then kind of got in a scramble. I got my leg pulled to the side a little bit, and had some knee stuff going on, MCL, a little bit meniscus. But you kind of just got, I mean, at that point,
you're already here. What are you going to do?
Suck it up and keep going.
No subs in wrestling.
Yeah.
You got to figure something out.
But attacked it and went on a run on the backside and came all the way back to the third place match. Ended up losing that one. But I think I won 6 matches at nationals that year.
And let's throw it back 1 year before that to the Minnesota duel.
Oh, God.
This is probably my favorite Peyton Robb story. We go to Minnesota. We're doing them there. Tough duel. But before
my home state, by the way.
Yep, Peyton Robb's home state. How many people do you think were there for you?
25, probably.
25,
plus,
like families,
like
friends.
Close people, and then probably a lot more that were like excited.
Shoot, half the arena was probably cheering for you.
Yeah.
Minnesota boy, homegrown, out there at Lincoln. Taylor Venz. We had a couple of Minnesota boys on the team doing well, All-Americans, getting the stuff done. But before weigh-ins, because did we start the duel at 65? Because I was one of the last ones to weigh in. Me and Thompson were.
It was starting at 57.
It was starting at 57, so you were going to be the last match.
I think I was going to be starting at 65, maybe.
Were you going to be the first match? First or second?
I was going to be the last match, actually.
Okay, yep. And what you tell them what happened.
And I had the biggest brain fart of my life, pretty much. We go in there, we get skin checked, and I'm down to weight. I'm good on weight, and I go back step on the scale one time just to like last minute double check. I'm good. Step off. But in my head, I thought to myself, I'm like, oh, I just weighed in. Like I stepped on the scale to check it. But usually I'm not the last person in line to weigh in. So in my head, I was just like, oh, I just made weight after I stepped on the scale. And so I walk off and I walk back to like our locker room and I just start eating and drinking a bunch. And all I see is Alex Thompson like sprinting down the hallway. Or I think it was Alex.
It was Alex, because I was still in there. Like, because I started looking for you. I asked Alex, I'm like, hey, where's P-Rob? Like, where did Peyton go? And he was like, he already weighed in. I'm like, he weighs in last.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, shoot. Thompson was 25. I was 33. So he hopped on the scale right before me. I'm like, you need to go get him. And Alex took off sprinting down the hall.
It was too late. Yeah, I had already started like chugged the Gatorade, chugged the water. I'd probably put like 4 pounds back in me. But Alex comes running down the hallway. He's like, dude, you didn't weigh in. And I was like, oh no. And I was like a shell for like 30 minutes, like
scared, nervous,
just scared.
All
I was like, oh, coaches are gonna be pissed at me. And then on top of that, all those fans that are all family and friends that are there in Minnesota to watch me, is along with other people, but there to cheer me on. And I got to go out there and be like, oh, I didn't make weight, and everybody's there. So it was kind of a brutal night for me, but shout out Licking again for coming through and beating a ranked guy, top 15 or something, ranked guy
to win the duel.
Luckily, we brought him with as a backup 57 because you get to bring like four extra guys.
3 or 4.
Brought Caleb Licking with, and he pulled through and had a heck of a performance and beat like a top 15 guy, and it was sweet.
Absolutely. So then you All-American a couple times, but then there was the 1 year at Nationals and some crazy stuff happened.
Yeah. So Tulsa, my junior year, get hit in the leg at some point. Notice like there's a bruise. I show Mikey like between my quarters and the semis. I'm like, dang, I got a big old bruise on my shin, and it hurts pretty bad to the touch. And I was just like, well, okay, just keep going, but it didn't feel good. And then later that night, it just like the bruise kept getting bigger, and it's like something's not right. And then the next morning, I was trying to warm the day 3 of Nationals, Sunday or Saturday, warming up with Bubba to get ready for consolation matches because I went on to lose the semis that night. Getting ready for the consolation matches, and I'm just like freezing, can't get a sweat going at all. Chin is like to the touch, it's like hurts real bad. Had to have to like wrap it up with like a pad like on my leg and then cover it up. And so I warm up, and well, I wouldn't even say warm up, but
tried to warm up, was trying to push through it.
Yeah,
because we didn't totally know what was wrong. We didn't know what was wrong. It just looked like a good bruise.
Still a bruise at that point. And so I'm like, okay, get done with that, go back into the tunnel waiting for my match, and I just get like freezing cold, and I'm putting the coaches I'm putting the coaches coats on me to try to warm up even more. And
Manning didn't want you to wrestle.
He told me, let's sit out this one and just wrestle, see how you feel, maybe wrestle later. And I was like, if I'm gonna wrestle, I'm just gonna wrestle now. So I walk out there pretty much cold. I was like, all right, whatever happened. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I just go out there and don't feel good and just wrestle. And so I was like, all right, that was my mindset, just wrestle. And I was pretty much midway into the match and just like exhausted. And I was just spamming blast double and snap down and fake pretty much. That's all I really knew how to do. And of course, this match, when you're exhausted and you're sick, goes into like deep into overtime, and it ends up being like a 9-minute match instead of 7. And at that point, I'm just sick, and I walk off the mat, immediately get sick right on the side of the mat, and then we were like, oh, something's not right, and come off the mat, and I'm still just feeling terrible all through the whole rest of the day, and so I end up not wrestling my next match. And
did you stay for the podium, or did you go to the hospital before that?
I went to the hospital right after the podium.
Right after the podium.
So I stayed, but by that time it was like then. So we went back to the hotel after that match, and I was done. And then by the time we came back for like the finals and the podium, my leg was like swollen and red from like the knee down.
Because I took a picture.
Yeah.
One of the photographers at Nationals, I was like, I went over and grabbed him. I'm like, bro, you have to see Peyton's leg.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, it is twice the size of his other one.
It was thick, and it was all just red.
Whole leg was red.
Yeah.
So after the finals, you head over to the hospital, and medication wasn't working.
Yeah, because they gave me oral antibiotics. But from the point of after my match in the morning, I couldn't keep anything down when I was eating or drinking or nothing. So I was still probably like 157 or below.
Did they figure out anything close to being what was actually wrong that night?
So it was they gave me medication, antibiotics for like cellulitis, or strep cellulitis, which isn't the biggest deal. But it, like I said, it was all oral antibiotics, so I couldn't really keep it down. So I was just kind of trying to take that, and
trying to take the medicine.
Yeah.
But then we come back to Lincoln. I had the ride on the bus. I wasn't with you guys. People were asking me why you didn't wrestle, why Brock didn't wrestle, but I was redshirting. I was in the stands with them. I was like, I don't know why you think I'd know. I'm not down there on the mat. But then you have to ride on the bus, sick as a dog, all the way back to Lincoln.
Worst bus ride of my life.
And then how long did you? Well, then you get back to. Were you at Bryan East?
I was at one of the Bryan hospitals,
and that was when they actually started figuring out what was going on.
Yeah, because I tried to just keep taking the medication for a little bit that day, that Sunday, until like nighttime, and shout out to my now fiance Taylor for telling me to freaking go to the hospital, because she saw me trying to walk around and it wasn't going well, and so she takes me to the hospital, and that's when we figure out that it's like I'm not in good shape, because I at one of the Bryan hospitals, they tell me that I'm having acute heart failure, kidney failure. I forget the other one. There's another one, but I'm in bad shape. And then they start pumping me full of fluids, and then that swells up your organs even more. So you're having a hard time breathing. So they're trying to get all my vitals under control at the hospital before they can even like go into what's wrong with my leg. So they're trying to figure all that out first, and then from there it was kind of off, starting with the surgeries and stuff.
Heck yeah, and we will get right back into that. So don't go anymore. More Takedown Tuesday with Husker Wrestling comes your way next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Get ready for the largest dirt late model event in Nebraska, race fans. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series is heading to Eagle Raceway's High Bank Heist on Thursday, May 15th through Saturday, May 17th. See the greatest dirt late model stars in the country compete for $10,000 to win on both Thursday and Friday, and an enormous $50,000 to win 75-lap main event on Saturday. The High Bank Heist, May 15th through May 17th at Eagle Raceway. For more info, visit eagleraceway.com. Let's go Lucas Oil Late Model Racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Spring has arrived. The temperatures are rising, and it's time to get your equipment ready for the season. Landmark Implement has high-quality used John Deere planters, sprayers, and tractors, priced to move and ready to work for you. Take advantage of unbeatable deals and flexible financing to upgrade your operation without stretching your budget. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or browse our full inventory online at landmarkimp.com. Before these deals are done, experience the Landmark difference.
This is it, Husker fans, your final chance to see Nebraska baseball at home this season. It starts Tuesday, May 6th with a huge rivalry matchup against Creighton. Then it's a Big Ten showdown as the Huskers host Michigan May 9th through 11th. Every game matters and your support can make the difference. Great seats are still available, but they're going fast. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Back to Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska Wrestling head coach Mark Manning. powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Takedown Tuesday with Husker Wrestling. I'm Ridge Lovett, in here with Austin Orman, Peyton Robb. Quick shout out to our sponsor, Stevens & Smith Construction. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Shout out Magic. You know, he just gave us a quick donation to 1890. So we always appreciate that, helping our team get better, helping keep our All-Americans at home. So back to quick shout out to my boy Oliver, the people on the YouTube stream. You can see he just came in here, gave us some stickers. He got 17 days of school left. Then it's summertime. So hopefully his last 17 days of school go good. And you're friends with them? Yeah?
Yeah. So in my free time in Brock Hardy, we do a lot of disc golfing. We're not good enough for regular golf, so we just throw the discs. But yeah, his dad, kid that gave us these stickers, his dad is big disc golf guy, kind of like a supplier of like bags and carts and discs and stuff like that. So I know him. I've been out there on the course with him a couple times. So shout out those guys.
Man, absolutely. So you get back to Lincoln. Taylor makes you go to the hospital.
Yep.
And their vitals are all jacked up. They get everything back under control. Now it's time for your leg.
Yeah. So still at Brian. And yeah, working on the vitals for actually a couple days. And then eventually we have a orthopedic surgeon come in, take a look at my leg. At that point, it's starting to like have like black dots, like kind of pop up around the redness, where the redness in the bruise started. And he knew immediately. He was like, we got to do something about this because it had turned into necrotizing fasciitis,
which is
flesh-eating bacteria, and has a pretty high fatality rate. And you don't really want to mess around with it. So,
and that's pretty uncommon.
Yeah.
Not super common. Not a lot of cases every year.
Yeah.
But at Nationals that year, there were 3 people. You got it.
I think 1 week before,
John Milner
one of them got it.
Or Whitlake.
Whitlake at Nationals.
Whitlake got it at Nationals.
Milner, I think right before Nationals.
Okay, yep.
Which is crazy that
I think it's the blue lights. I think it's them
possibly.
That's what I think.
Yeah, they weren't really wiping the mats that year at Nationals. They're using the like scan blue lights.
They've continued to do that. They did it this year. They did it last year. They think that that's the way. I don't.
The only reason I really don't blame that is because I never had an open wound on my skin. It was just from blunt force. Just there was that bruise there. So there was never any opening. But yeah, so orthopedic surgeon comes in and he's immediately like upset at what he's seeing, just because of like it's no good. Like I'm in a bad situation.
Gonna lose your leg. Gonna have to be
possibly
Anthony Robles.
Yeah. So that's one of the things he tells me when he's like, I hadn't had a surgery up to that point yet. And within the next 30 minutes, I was going into surgery to cut out as much of the infection as they could. And he told me, he was like, listen, we're going to go in there and whatever's infected, if it's in your bone or in your joints, like we might have to take off like your leg from the knee down. And at that point, I mean, I can't really do anything about it. It's like you're just processing it. So that was, and plus at that point, like I'm on like a bunch of drugs in the hospital. And so I'm not completely aware.
Yeah. Don't really know what's going on. So we might have to cut off your leg. Here, we're going to knock you out and cut you open.
Yeah. So, but I had my parents down in the hospital and my fiance and then that day Coach Manning and Coach Snyder were there, and Snyder was giving me some words that to make me feel better going into that surgery, and it turns out, I came out with my leg, so that's good.
That's a plus. That's always a plus.
That's a win. And But a story that I don't remember myself, but my mom and Taylor, my fiance, told me that coming out of surgery, he's still like asleep. I don't remember it because it's like you're put under. I come out and the first thing I do is like look up and like wiggle my toes, and so must have been checking if it was still there.
But so they cut you open, they cut out some of your calf.
Yeah.
Did they have to take any bone?
No bone, just some muscle that's inside on both sides because it was kind of coming from both sides. And so yeah, they cut it open, and from that point I had 6 surgeries that were they called debridements, where they're cutting out like dead tissue, infected tissue, cutting all that out. They get as much out as they need to, or they get everything out. And then I'm transferred to I forget the other hospital's name, St.
Elizabeth.
Yes. St. Elizabeth, because they have a really good burn unit, and so with open wounds and stuff. And
is that where you did your skin graft?
Yeah, because that's where like a lot of burn victims will get skin grafts and that kind of stuff. So they're really equipped for open wounds. So at that point, I spent a week in there getting kind of prepped for that, and then
the skin graft comes.
And the skin graft, and I was actually an outpatient for the skin graft, so they let the tissue grow out because they cut like into my leg from both sides pretty good, and so you have to let like the tissue like grow out to be even with like the rest of your leg, and kind of so it's flatter, I guess, so it's ready to receive the graft. And then come back in to the hospital. They take the skin from my thigh up here and put it on both sides of my calf to cover up the open wounds, and that might have been the worst part of it all.
Really? The skin graft was the worst part?
Skin graft hurt real bad. It was no good. I was pretty inconsolable for like a little while with
just you and Weeda. Then after that, just
me,
you and Weeda
and Taylor and yeah,
road to recovery.
Yep, road to recovery.
Because all this happened, and you still had one more year of eligibility.
Yep. So I wanted to get back. You know, once I knew I would have my leg, it was like, oh, I'm gonna get back.
I'm gonna wrestle
again.
So all that happens. You spend a summer with Weeda, getting back, getting ready to go, wrestling with your sleeve, and then we get into your last season, which for everybody be pretty good. You were down on yourself a little bit a few times during that year.
Yeah. So came back into that year and was all ready to go. Luckily, like I said, it's the where I had surgery and where the infection wasn't on like a joint or my knee or my ankle, and so the recovery went really well because you're just regrowing your muscle strength. You're not losing mobility as much.
You get to skip that part of the rehab.
Yeah,
don't have to.
So it was a lot of strength based stuff, and so I get back to where I need to be, but drop some matches I didn't want to throughout the season. And
had a great Vegas though.
Had a great Vegas. Started off strong, and then you get into Big Ten season,
which is a grind.
And
you can. I always point that out with people who transfer from out of the Big Ten into the Big Ten. And then like they start having an up and down year, and people are like I thought this guy was super good. I'm like, welcome to the Big Ten, dude. You're not wrestling. You're wrestling a top 10 kid every single week.
Yeah.
Which so like I was saying, like for a lot of people, P-Rob season was a fantastic season, but
in my eyes, I mean, I'm trying to be the best. And so overall, I thought it was like okay season. One thing that was kind of a full circle moment was, so I wrestled my last match the year prior when I wasn't feeling great, and that was against Jared Franek, who's a stud, but lost to him, and I had his number in previously coming up to that point, and then lose 2 more times to him, once in the regular season and once at Big Tens. And I was like, gosh, I just can't get past this guy now. And it was kind of weird. It was because that's the last guy I wrestled before everything went down. And then turns out that was my final match in my career, my college career, was for 7th against Franek, and I just turned it up on him, and Wen got the major at the last second, and it just felt like a really good way to end my college career, with a kind of a full circle moment where I come back and I beat this guy that I've struggled with since the time before my leg happened. So
how long were you in the hospital total?
It was 14 days the first time, I think 2 weeks, and then coming back in as a for the skin graft, it was another day. But then also every morning at like 6:30 a.m. for like I think it was like 60 outpatient visits, like through all my recovery, because of would go in there for HBO treatment, where you're just in this chamber, this oxygen chamber, to help like cell regrowth.
Mm-hmm.
And of course it was like every morning, like early 6:30.
Gotta get in there before practice. Come on.
And go in there, and I'd have to do it for like, I think it was like 2 or 3 hours at a time. But in the oxygen chamber, you can't have any like electronics or anything. So you're just like laying in there staring at the TV that they have, because you can't have your phone because it might like ignite with the oxygen. So
like 80 total hospital visits, 2 weeks in the hospital, and then you come back, finish out your senior season, win Vegas, win Outstanding Wrestler at Vegas, have a pretty good season, Big Ten placer, finishes an All-American.
And actually, that was the first time I had ended a season on a victory in college. So that was another thing that I was like, okay, just look at the positives of that. I try to look at the positives majority of the time, and so that was kind of a cool moment where it was like, okay, I finally got this win to end. No better time to end on a win, right?
Darn right. We'll get right back to it. Don't go anywhere. More Takedown Tuesday with Husker Wrestling comes your way next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best they can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. Tailored Landscapes is on the brink of spring cleanups for all their existing customers, and they have limited spots available. They trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give Tailored Landscapes a call at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of their designers, and stop by the Tailored Life store in Bennett.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage door sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, a realignment, or even a new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way, so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at DoorsPlusLLC.com or give them a call today at 402-590-5800. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you a fan of local wine, craft beer, cider, or spirits? Don't miss SIP Nebraska's 12th anniversary celebration, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park, and join others who share your passion for great drinks. Enjoy unlimited tastings, live music, delicious food, artisans, and lawn games as you celebrate Nebraska's vibrant beverage industry. And when you find one you love, you can buy a bottle to take home. Choose your ticket package at sipnebraska.com. The SIP Nebraska Spring Festival, a Blur event, May 9th and 10th at Mahoney State Park in Ashland.
Midwest Bank is now hiring in Lincoln. They have multiple banking positions open and are looking for dynamic individuals passionate about helping others and building relationships. With a family-friendly culture, competitive benefits, and unique perks, Midwest Bank is a great place to start a new career. Apply today at midwest.bank. Midwest Bank is an equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
You grew up on cereal for breakfast and you graduated into drinking coffee at some point as an adult. Now there's a place in Lincoln where you can stay caffeinated but eat like you used to. Control Coffee and Cereal Bar brings Saturday morning vibes to every day with locally roasted specialty coffees, Lotus energy drinks, and tons of breakfast cereals with toppings. And did we mention they have video games to play while you're there too? Control Coffee and Cereal Bar open 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends at 15th and Pine Lake.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Are you a skilled mechanic looking for your next opportunity? Nebco is hiring. They're looking for experienced mechanics to join our family-owned team. They offer competitive wages, great benefits, service trucks, OEM-level diagnostic software, and career growth opportunities. Apply today at nebco.com. Positions include lead and A-level mechanics for the Nebco shop. Learn more at nebco.com. If you're driven and ready to grow with a company that's been around since 1908, apply today at nebco.com.
Your new Total Wine in Lincoln has the largest selection of wines, spirits, and beers, plus totally low prices and friendly service from our helpful guides. With over 8,000 wines, 4,500 spirits, and 2,500 beers, you're sure to find your favorites and something new. You can even order delivery, in-store, or curbside pickup. Find what you love what you find, only at Total Wine and More. Now open in Lincoln next to Gateway Mall.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Back to Takedown Tuesday with Nebraska Wrestling head coach Mark Manning, powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Takedown Tuesday with Husker Wrestling. I'm Ridge Lovett in here with Austin Orman and my boy Peyton Robb. Shout out Magic. He just came in the studio, said what's up. Now he's out there chopping it up with some of the gymnasts. Emma Spence, she's got a show out here working on a podcast right now, I believe. Or maybe they were doing something for
recording the show.
Recording the show?
These student athletes are busy, I've been told. So sometimes
occasionally, traveling, whatever, going on vacation most of the time. Quick shout out to our sponsors of the show, Stevens and Smith Construction. Appreciate you guys keeping us running. So full recovery. We were just talking about it with Magic.
Yeah.
Full recovery. Now we're wrestling Greco. How was the transition from folk style to Greco?
It was good. I still like scrapping with you guys in freestyle and folk style, helping you guys get ready for nationals and for world team trials and that kind of stuff. But you know, I had roots in Greco. You know, won Fargo and Greco as a high schooler, as a junior, and so it wasn't too bad of a transition. It was just getting the little things ready. You know, you spend some time out of it. You forget some of the pressures that come with Greco and some of the ways that your opponents exploit that. So a little bit of transition, but like I said, that 10-day camp, those kind of things kind of tighten up your technique. And
because the Americans, like, we wrestle Greco differently than the rest of the world. The rest of the world, they're way bigger into parterre.
Yeah.
It's all about, well, really just hopefully they get called for passive and you get to put them down.
Pretty much. It's like block on your feet pretty much a lot of time. And
because Americans, we kind of send
top.
Yeah. Americans send it, body locks, big throws, constantly trying to score. But the foreigners, so it's
just they're next level on top and bottom in parterre.
Yep. Just pushing for what passivity is pretty much a stall call. And if you get them, your opponent gets called for passivity, you have an option to either stay on your feet and get a point, or you get a point and you get to put them on bottom. and then you can go for your lifts, turns, which is where the foreigners really excel.
Yeah. So the foreigners they'll pick you up like you're 10 pounds. Sometimes
that happened to me when I was at Cadet Worlds in Greece. And it's also weird because international tournaments, it's one loss. And if the person you lose to does not make the finals, you're out of the tournament.
Yep.
And in my first match at nationals, I was wrestling a kid from Turkey, and I threw a crappy arm spin, went down to my belly, takedown, straight lift. No slip. Picks me up, boom, bombs me, 4, 6-0. 8-0 is a tech. I'm down 6-0. I've been wrestling for 45 seconds. My trip to Greece is about to be over. I'm sitting there panicking. I defend the second lift, and then I hit him with some nasty stuff.
There you go.
Double trap arm, body lock for 5.
Double trap, double overhook, body lock.
Oh, yeah.
I remember you hitting that at Fargo.
That was my stuff. I got long arms.
We got one from the text line here for you guys before we get out of here. Disc Golf Jake, who just stopped in with Oliver, right? He says, first of all, appreciate you guys taking time to chat with them. And then he wants to know, how can fans support you guys in your careers moving forward?
Yeah, so you can definitely support the college guys with the 1890 Collective. And then with us, for me personally, I have shirts and stuff. The links for that is on my Instagram. So you can definitely go buy some Ridge Lovett merch. That'd be great.
I believe there's also a gold medal fund for the NWTC.
Indeed, there is.
And so you can donate to that, and they send out merch for those that donate and stuff like that. So
different levels for that. You get different gear packages. I saw the GOAT status shirts last year. They were sick.
I know. I was trying to take some stuff, and
Snyder's always stingy, bro. Always stingy. Don't ever want to give out no gear. But yeah, so definitely for the Husker Wrestling fans, donate to the 1890 Collective. It's the donation month. Give to Lincoln month.
Give to Lincoln month. Yep.
Give to Lincoln month. So those are getting doubled. They're matching them up to certain prices. I think that our current campaign just ended, but I'm going to be out wrestling in a couple of weeks with a bunch of other guys on our team going out there. Big shout out, Peyton Robb. What Instagram plug?
It's just I am P Rob.
I am P Rob. You can follow me on all socials at Ridge Lovett. Appreciate you guys for listening. This was Takedown Tuesday with Ridge Lovett, Peyton Robb, and Austin Norman.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel